$4,532 will leave Marcus's accounts this year without a single decision behind it. He's 26, $412 in checking, $1,150 in savings, $4,700 on a credit card charging him almost 25%. He is not reckless. He's never gambled, never blown a paycheck, never made one dramatic mistake with money in his life. He also hasn't made a real financial decision in 19 months. That's not a joke about laziness. It's a mechanism, and it has a name. Decisions you never actually made. Every dollar leaving his account tonight leaves on the authority of a past version of him who clicked confirm one time and went to bed. Past Marcus is still spending. Present Marcus just gets the bill. There are 7 signs your money is running on the same autopilot. The 7th one is the one I'd fix first because it's the only one that changes what the other 6 look like. Sign 1. You know your rent, but you don't know your total. Ask Marcus what his rent is, and he answers instantly, $13.95. Ask him what leaves his account every month without him touching it, and he goes quiet. He guesses $60, maybe $70. It's $187, 11 active subscriptions. He recognized 4. The worst one is a gym membership, $54 a month, and he stopped going 19 months ago. He never canceled, he just stopped showing up. The autopilot kept flying. 54 times 19 is $1,026, paid in full for a building he did not enter. Notice what happened there. Marcus didn't decide to spend $1,000 on nothing. He decided nothing at all. That's the whole mechanism. The autopilot doesn't need your permission. It already has it. So pause the video, open your banking app, pull up last month's statement and count the recurring charges. Not the ones you remember, the ones actually there. Drop that number in the comments. Just the count, not what they cost. We're coming back for that. That's the loudest version of a decision he never made. Here's the quietest. Sign 2, your savings account has a job and almost nobody checks whether it's doing it. Marcus keeps $1,150 at a big national bank. In plain English, that account is a room where money sits, not a room where money grows. His rate is 0.01%. Over a full year, that $1,150 earned him 12 cents. 12 cents, not $12. There's nothing in America you can buy with 12 cents. The same money in a high-yield account paying around 4% earns about $46 a year. Same money, same federal insurance, same access. The only difference is which room it's sitting in. And Marcus never picked the room. It was assigned to him at 17, and it's been quietly not growing ever since. That's a decision he never made at 17. Sign 3 is one he never made at 24, and it costs 45 times more. Sign 3, you're turning down free money and calling it a paycheck. Marcus's employer offers a 4% 401k match. Plain English, for every dollar he puts in, up to 4% of his salary, the company drops in $1 of its own. On $52,000 a year, that's $2,080 sitting on a table with his name on it. Marcus contributes 0. Not because he ran the numbers and decided the match was a bad deal, because on his second day in a benefits portal at 4 in the afternoon, tired, he clicked past a screen with a checkbox on it. $2,080 a year forfeited by a man who was mostly wondering where the bathroom was. So the gym showed you what a non-decision costs when it's small. The savings account showed you what one costs when it's invisible. The match shows you what one costs when the money is free. Now zoom out, because that checkbox was not an accident. Somebody chose whether that retirement screen was opt-in or opt-out. Somebody chose whether the gym contract renews automatically or simply expires. Somebody chose whether the bank's rate moves when the Fed moves or sits at 0.01% for a decade. Every one of those defaults is the option that's better for them if you never touch it. So what happens the first time one of them charges you for having no money? That's sign 4. There's a phrase your bank uses, overdraft protection. 6 times in the last 12 months, a scheduled charge hit Marcus's account before there was money in it. The bank covered it, then charged him $27 for the favor, right around the national average, and about what he pays for 2 streaming services. 6 times 27 is $162, paid to a bank for the crime of briefly not having money, by a man who did not have money. Read that back slowly, because it's the purest version of this whole idea. He was charged a fee he couldn't afford because he couldn't afford it. Protection is doing a lot of work in that phrase. And every one of those 6 charges came from an autopay he set up once and forgot. The autopilot didn't just spend his money, it scheduled the fee. Quick one, 5 seconds. Scroll back through your last 3 statements and look for a fee like that. Yes or no in the comments. I want to know how common this really is. There's a reason the money's already gone 3 days after payday, and it isn't his income. Every one of those fees came from a decision he never made. But sign 5 is a decision he never made that he's actually proud of. $4,700 at $24.99, roughly average right now, not some predatory outlier. If your card lives anywhere near that number, you're inside the same math. The payment his bank set, $141 a month. He pays it every month, on time, never missed one. He genuinely believes he's handling it. Here's the math, and you can run it yourself. If he pays exactly that $141 every month and never adds another charge, the card clears in 58 months, just under 5 years. Total interest, about $3,400. $8,100 paid for a $4,700 balance. He'll be 31 when it's done, describing himself the whole way as someone who's on top of it. He never chose 141. The bank did, and the bank is the party collecting the interest, $3,400 of it. He didn't pick 0.01% either. Sign 6 is the biggest number he didn't pick. The length of a loan is a decision about who you'll be when it ends. $488 a month for 72 months. Marcus is 21 payments in, which means in one afternoon at a desk while somebody printed something, he committed his 24th through 29th years of income to a vehicle. Ask him why 72 months, and he'll tell you the truth. That's what made the payment fit. That's the autopilot's favorite trick. It never asks, can you afford this? It asks, can you afford this per month? Different questions, different answers, and only one of them is on the paperwork. Which brings us to sign 7, the one I'd fix first. Add it up. $2,244 a year in subscriptions, $2,080 in forfeited match, $162 in overdraft fees, $46 in interest he'll never see, $4,532 a year, leaving a man's life without one decision behind it. But sign 7 isn't another line on that list. Sign 7 is the reason the list exists. Marcus has never once looked. Not out of denial, out of something more specific, the belief that looking is the same as being judged, that opening the app and seeing the real total makes it his fault, makes him the guy who let this happen. So he doesn't look. And not looking is its own autopilot, the master switch, the one keeping the other 6 running. But here's why this one is first. Earlier, I had you count your recurring charges. Counting isn't the fix. Counting is just how you find them. Here's the fix. Go back to that list and write the annual number next to every single one. Because $54 a month is invisible. It's a lunch. Nobody cancels a lunch. $648 a year is not invisible. That's a flight home. That's a number you have an opinion about. And that's the only real trick in this entire video. Every autopilot charge in your life is priced by the month, specifically because the monthly number is the one you won't argue with. Multiply it by 12 and the argument starts on its own. Picture him at a kitchen table, 11 at night, thumb hovering over the icon 4 seconds too long. Then he opens it. He doesn't cancel anything. He writes down 11 charges and next to each one, that number times 12. 11 minutes. That's the entire intervention. The autopilot only flies in the dark, and it prices itself by the month so you never do the multiplication. Marcus isn't real. But if his numbers felt familiar, if you flinched at the gym membership or the 12 cents or the checkbox on day 2, that isn't because you're bad with money. Nobody sat you down at 17 and explained what 0.01% meant. Nobody mentioned that 72 months is a decision about your late 20s. You were handed a system with the default already set and told to be responsible inside it. That's not your fault, but it is now your move. Every dollar in your life is there for one of 2 reasons. You chose it or you didn't. That's the whole distinction, and you're the only person who can move a dollar from the second column into the first. So, what's the oldest one you found? Not the biggest, the oldest. Drop the year you signed up and let's find out how far back these things go. And if you're done being the person money just happens to, subscribe. Next week, why you're broke 3 days after payday, and why it has almost nothing to do with what you earn.